this is my first paint pouring video. This is my setup. So I got this box a while back to take CDs. And when I decided to do paint pour, I actually put the CDs somewhere else and use this because it's got a lid, which I've got over here, which I'm just using to contain my materials. But the box I've lined with some plastic sheeting. It's plastic sheeting that you get on a roll. It's sort of decorator stuff. And then what I've done is I have glued a few of these big tubs to a bit of cardboard at the bottom to balance my wire cooling rack, which is just one for baking. My canvas, this is a 30 by 30 by 1.5 depth canvas. I've taped off the back so that it keeps the back kind of clean, and I've put some pins in, and although I'm not using these to elevate the canvas for painting, when I move it to a bit of cardboard to dry afterwards, these will keep it up off the cardboard and it won't stick, so that's good. Most important thing, coffee. It's about 5 to 7. I was due to do this yesterday, but my day just ran away with me for various reasons, and I got the setup done and everything, and I just wanted to get up and do my first flip cup pour this morning before I go away and see my brother. So here is my table, so I'm all prepped. Gloves, I have a bunch of sticks. I've got some little bits and pieces here. I don't anticipate using these today, but I kind of wanted to have all this out just in case I run into trouble with this painting and I have to try a few other things to recover it. So I've got my cups here for getting my paints ready. This is my cup for my flip cup, although it's probably a little bit too big. I'll probably only fill it up to about here, which is not ideal, but this is a 240ml cup. I actually need about 160ml for this canvas, and I'll post a link. There's a calculator online where you can put in your canvas size and the depth, and it will give you the amount of paint that you need. I'm going to probably overdo the amount of paint, bearing in mind this is my first pour, so I don't really mind if I get a lot of runoff. I can be a bit more precise when I'm a bit more experienced. So I have 4 cups ready for my colours. I've got these Colour ones from Amazon. Not tried them. Don't know if they're any good, but I'm going to give them a go. So I have white. Ooh, would help if you could see me. I've got some blue, I got some red, and I got some yellow. So we're going to go for some primaries first. I have some Liquitex pouring medium. I have some water here, and I've got a little bit of alcohol. Now, I have to credit Gina DeLuca here. I've been watching a number of her videos on YouTube, and I will post a link almost certainly because I think she's fantastic. She's in the States. She did a 101 on doing a flip cup, and she went through everything. I mean, literally everything. Paint consistencies, putting a bit of water in. I think she uses a lot of Floetrol. I didn't get Floetrol for this, but it was just an amazing video. She went through using silicone to get the cells. I think on one of them she's even used straws and all sorts. So this is kind of me sort of replicating that. So, and I have a blowtorch here, very cheap, Amazon again. I got some get out of jail free paper towels, gloves of course, and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to get the camera set up and I will mix my paint and I'll be back. Flip cup lined with silicone. just sprayed in a bit of WD-40, wiped it off. So I'm going to start with the white. I might put too much of the white in the bottom, but you know what, that's okay. We'll deal with it. I think I'm going to have enough. Might have to mix up some more white. Whoop. Actually, I think we're nearly there. I don't do too much more because I'm going to have too much paint for the flip cup. Right, so I'm going to let that sit over here while I do the white on the canvas. Let's try not to, a few drips here, so I'm just keeping that clean. Let's try going from the other side. Okay, that might not be enough, but let's see. It's definitely not enough white. Okay, let's mix up a little bit more. Bubbles in it, but I'll pop that with the blowtorch later. Juggle that on. I'm sure there's a better tool for doing this, but you know, I'm a beginner. I'm gonna make mistakes. So I want to try and get some on the sides and on these little bits here. Just to facilitate that paint sliding off. So that's the kind of order of the day here. Making sure that the paint can slide effectively off the canvas. You know, I bet there's a ton of YouTubers out there going, what the hell is she doing? She's cacking it up. Beginner! Anyway. I'm making this shit up as I go along. No, I'm not. There's some awesome mentors out there in YouTube land. And I'm sure, yeah, some of them are going, yes, definitely a better tool for that, Linz. But here we go. This is a rubbish tool for this, actually, so I'm going to switch to something else. There we go. See if we can't get a little bit of a better result with that. A little bit like icing a cake. Not that I've iced many cakes, to be fair, but yeah, I think probably this is actually helping because I can see a bit better, because I am fairly blind even with my glasses. Just want to make sure I got no bald patches on this, so sorry if it's going out of frame, guys, but really kind of want to get a good result on this. And result comes first, you guys come second. Them's the rules. Bits as well. Okay, not too bad. Could be better. But that's what being a beginner is all about. Getting better, making mistakes, having fun. Okay, I can't see any bald patches on there now. Oh yeah, I can. Just give that a little bit of a... I'm just going to see if I've got any more usable paint in here. Probably have, and that will just go on. Just to give the paint a bit more traction. Yeah, I thought I was being really smart buying these cups, but they've got these little 4 little dings at the in the corner. Oh, there is no corners, but 4 little bits of plastic that jut out, and it makes it really difficult to scrape the paint out because you keep catching it. So it's somewhere for the paint to sit. So it's actually a bit of a waste. So I was trying to avoid the disposable ones. And get something a bit harder that I could just keep reusing, but we'll have to have a rethink on that. But you know, once again, this is all part of the learning curve. Got a bit of crap on my canvas there. Let's just try and cover that up. Right, okay, as my dad said to me, don't let the pursuit of the perfect be the enemy of the good. Thank you, Dad. Can't help it. Okay. Right. Okay, so that is that done. So I am going to, I'm not going to mix this, but I'm going to do, thank you Gina for this, I'm going to do a cross and a cross, and really hope that that doesn't just go terribly wrong. So I'm actually going to, oh, first things first, I'm literally just going to give this a little torch. Not melt my plastic. Or burn my paint. Okay. First time I've done that. Can't see any air bubbles, but then I can't see a great deal. So, you know, we're going to deal with this. Right, flip cup. I'm actually going to... Alright, okay, so there's a couple of ways. Gina actually used a tool, and you know what, maybe I'm going to do that rather than try and flip this canvas. I am going to use this bad boy. And if you can see that, I'm just going to flip it. I'm going to keep that here for a minute and just let that paint work its way down. Oh crap, I'm going to have to hold it. I can drink my coffee. know if you can see that. I didn't quite catch it. So I was just on my way to the kitchen and I noticed this is just starting to drip. Thankfully, no drips. First crises averted, that's good. So this is kind of the tricky bit. This is where the anxiety sets in, I think. This is about getting this on here as quickly as possible. Just going to do it. Oh, it's a dirty one. You know what? It might be okay. It's kind of looking a bit muddy here in places, but this is the first one. I'm just gonna stand here and vape for a while and let the muddiness develop. Oh, some nice little shells popping up. God, I really hope this is filming. I might just have to check. Oh yeah. Nice. Hello. Okay, so I'm going to give it a bit of a blast, I think. I've just realised the folly of lining this with plastic. Not quite close enough. Interesting. So I suspect my canvas might be... Hey.
Hello, Linz.
Morning. Okay, so I'm gonna go that way first because I'm not all that fussed about what's happening up this end here. Actually, we're just gonna let it sit. I'm gonna let it work its magic for a while. Fiddling! Just get rid of some of that on that end. Although, having said that, some of that might open up quite nicely. Let's not try and be too architectural about this. Let's just let it happen. Let it unfold. Oh, I'm losing all that lovely blue. I just don't think I used enough white in this, and I think that's in between the layers, and I think that's why it's kind of come out this sort of muddy kind of finish. But you know what? It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be good. It's the first one. Okay, so that is really muddy. Really, really muddy. So this is how this one turned out in the end. So after I finished the video, I kind of brought it into the kitchen to dry out, and I wasn't happy with it, obviously, because it was muddy as hell. So I embellished, and I used some of the paint that I had left over. I actually mixed up some more white, but I had blue and yellow and red left over. And then I dropped some on various points in the canvas, and then I used a silicone brush to sort of pull it through and get some, this sort of was quite nice here. I pretty much lost all the cells that were in the video, which, I thought were actually going to work quite well. But then what I did was I just sort of worked with it and worked around it. So I don't think it's bad for a first go. It is muddy, yes, but it's not as muddy as it was. I also made the mistake of putting my fingers on it earlier, and I've got some little raised bits which you can kind of see there. There are also some bits where I added more paint, so we've got sort of balder bits of the canvas and bits coming over. So a really good exercise. I will keep this painting because this was my first ever one, and it's good to see where you started and remember the lessons that you learnt. So I'm down with that. But I already have my next canvas ready, and we're going to do another one later. But first I'm going to do a little video on the bits that I've got in my studio box, which is my box of tricks that I pull out because I don't have a dedicated space for working. Anyway, catch you next time.